Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a new One Punch Man the Strongest video. Today, we are going to look at BHR Sengoku's account and we're going to perform an account augmentation. So, everybody, strap in, the doctor is in. Okay, let's get right into it. So, firstly, we need to look at his account. According to the account owner, it's a semi-competitive account. He intends to maintain his spot in top 5 to top 10 arena. So we will look at the potential of this account going forward. So let's have a look at his main character, which is currently Garo. So he has all the substandard ratings for a good Garo. 5-star limit break. Awaken up to 3.5 stars. He's completed all the attack nodes and seems to be progressing to at least 4-star. And his talent seems to be adequately completed. The attacks can be pushed up one more level, preferably, as well as the HP. So you want to stop maybe around 6 or 7 preferably, if you have the resources to push through. If you do not have the resources to push through, I think this is adequate enough. You might want to push the health just a little bit more up, because more health doesn't hurt at all. So his Garo has almost 50k attack, which is pretty sick, and his HP is 1.5 million. So based on this, I think you did a little bit of an overkill on the martial artist badge, his insignia, because this actually consumes a lot of star ascension cards, which you can invest back into this to make them 4-star gears. So you can actually push through to 50 plus K attack, which is going to definitely benefit you. You have rolled a crit here on your grappler gear. So has been washed profusely, so you might want to have a look whether you want to get a next set of gears before washing again, because it's going to be way too expensive for you to afford. And then speed bonus, definitely good, but I don't think that it's on the relevant character. You can actually roll this for just keep the 2 HP bonus, get HP stats, and then maybe you can roll for Genos, which will be a good option for you. Damage free, not really that good, but not bad either, and HP is also not really that good on Garo. You're looking to roll more on attack bonus. Damage rate is also a good stat to get. Hit is so. Crit is definitely good if you're running a crit Garo. If you're not, then it's not really that relevant. Regarding your overall character, I would give it a rating of 7 out of 10. It's definitely really good, but there are certain minor things like your skill level is adequate. Mostly it's your character evolution, because I think you're focusing materials onto Koketsu now, because you might want to push him to red 1 first, because since he's your main character, you want him to stay ahead of the pack. Your talent also can be adjusted just a little bit. Gear wise, it's good. The levels are a bit low, so you might want to farm a little bit more health CC. Then you might also be able to get a better substat gear here, but so far so good, I would say. Regarding the stars, just your gears as well as the speed, I think will be sufficient. And also with your buff gears, as previously mentioned, you might want to roll more attack or find a better buff gear, because you want to look at 3 to 4 attack minimum. And this as well, damage free and HP is better on something like a metal bag, for example. So you might not necessarily need this stats on Garo. As well as this, although you have very good speed bonus, you're lacking extra 2 lines, which is defense bonus. So you might want to reconsider investing into this buff gear any further. So you might want to swap it with another buff gear and pray to God that you get a better speed bonus lah. So now we're going to look at your other characters. Let's look at your Goketsu. So his talent's open. As previously mentioned, you might want to push it to 7 each. Awakening wise, I would say stopping here is more than enough. You don't need to push any further than this. You might want to rush the attack node by mistake, and definitely focus up all your materials into limit breaking. Do not use your Omni Shards too much, because you might need to use it for Giro in the future. So just continue ETing him. Make sure you get him some skill books. I know it's a little bit of a hard resource to get due to the prevalent amount of grapplers in your lineup. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 grapplers in your lineup, so it's a lot. And all of them are eating skill books. So gear wise, let me have a look. You're running a knight set, and I do believe you told me that this is your best knight set, but I'll have a look at it myself. So look for attack on knight. So yeah, okay, in terms of low investment, this is your best knight set. It's a pity that you don't have slightly better sets. Yeah, I think the attack speed is better here rather than an attack defense. So again, your gear levels are still under leveled. You might want to push it up a bit more. Your Goketsu buff queues, that's 5. That's not so good. This is only the attack bonus is good, to be honest. He doesn't really need HP, nor does he benefit from it, but you haven't washed this. So I just want to lock this and then just wash it in your free time when you have the extra resources. And then let's have a look at your king. Okay, according to the account owner, he is steering away from king already, which is I would say a good decision, because king is starting to fall out of the meta. And personally myself, my king will be reversed when I pull SSR Genos. I'm pulling SSR Genos mostly because I can afford it. So if you can't afford it, please do not pull SSR Genos. So his king is still an orange king, so it's very behind in terms of where his position in the meta is now. He should be at least red or red 1 by now if you want to continue maintaining your king. But yeah, as I mentioned before, over invested into the insignia. Let me check. Almost every character he has over invested into insignia. So back to his king. His king gears are okay. It seems to be low investment. Looking for a speed king, I would say. If I'm not mistaken, he's running king speed 3. Yes, king speed 3. So it's Garo Goketsu king. So it's a okay lineup, but it does not benefit from king actually doing damage. It's mostly just to either be a filler character or reduce the opponent's energy in the case that he is faster than them. So he plays more of a backseat role, and I will explain why it's a little bit of a shame to do that. Regarding his other characters, it seems to be quite substandard. His ally is stacking HP, which is normal. His Silverfang could be stacking more HP, to be honest, but I think this is adequate enough. Silverfang doesn't need stars on his insignias, to be honest, because his shield is based on the individual character's HP, so it's not really that necessary. And his Silverfang limit break is a bit over invested, to be honest. 4 stars is a lot. Most people stop at 2 stars because all you need to do is just activate his passive. And then other than that, I would like to look at his zombie man. That was also not red, which is a shame. And 4 stars, which is adequate enough, to be honest, for PvE. And again, insignia over invested. Primal gears seem to be okay. Too much speed in my opinion. You might want to settle for flat damage. This is a problem that a lot of the accounts that I doctor have. The problem is that they are trying to force the most meta sets onto their characters, but sometimes it's just not feasible. The reason is because that it's just not easy to get certain sets. So for this, pardon me. For this set, I would recommend you swap out one of these attack speed for attack percentage if you have, but this one, that's fine. And this one as well. One attack speed is more than enough, to be honest. So I'll just actually replace it for you right now. And this will actually push your zombie man attack quite high. So now you're at 220858. And then if we use the previous set, we will have a value of, wait, let me see, enhancement level. Oof. So we have enhancement level. This is attack. This is the former attack speed, and former attack primal. So this is a level 50 gears compared. So your level 0 gears equate to your level 50 primal gears with the speed stat. So you can see like there's a major difference in how you do it, because once you push it up to 90, your attack will be incredibly high. So you might want to consider that. And oh, you've actually rolled quite a good stat on the OPMTS here, attack bonus. You can actually push that to a different attacker later. You can keep that. Your Amai seems to be non-invested. His attack is below average. Skill level is fine. Limit break is fine. Awakening is untouched. You might want to push it to 2 purple because that's a minimum you need for PvE. Gear stats haven't been touched at all. And I would say you might want to invest a bit more, because bossing, you will depend on him as well as BK for a long time, at least until June, which is another 4 months away. So you might want to invest a bit into BK, and since our server has not even attempted to take down boars yet, you might want to push it so you can be a contributing factor to the Boros Club boss. So let's have a look at his Saitama memories. So for the most part, he is starting to build his grappler speed now. He hasn't done his duelist, his Esper, as well as his if I'm not mistaken, this is duelist as well. Yes. So his duelist and his Esper memories are more or less untouched. Over here, this is high tech, and this is duelist as well, if I'm not mistaken. So your duelist is basically more or less ignored. You can leave it that way if you choose to do so. It's just your zombie man will be inferior. So if you're continuing to play hero side, then your zombie man will eternally be inadequate or below average, you can say. Esper, you need to probably rush that because Esper Meta is coming up, and Goro and RMG actually benefit a lot from that. And you might also want to start high tech if you're getting Genos. I'm also doing the same right now. Regarding his Saitama talent, he's been doing what I've been saying. It seems he's invested a little bit on the main stat, but he seems to be pushing all his reso into the substat, which is a good choice in my opinion. Everything seems in order right here. Next, we're going to look at his figurines as well as his training hall and that. So figurines wise, he's using all the proper bases, but he seems to have a few units that he hasn't upgraded. So now all of you who are watching, whether it's Sengoku or not, please go and star your characters here, because they actually provide you a lot of bonus stats which you cannot obtain anywhere else, and it can be it can make the difference between victory and loss. That minor stat can actually be the difference. What I mean by this is that extra 300 200 attack that you gain from here that small inkling of value might be the difference between you breaking a flashy flash shield and denying the whole enemy with energy with your Garo. So you need to think of it like that. Whatever you can get, whether it's a minor or insignificant advantage, it will still be an advantage nevertheless. That's the type of attitude you need to keep when you're playing a game like this, because all it takes is one mistake to tip the scale into either your or the enemy's favor. Looking at his training hall now, everything seems to be in order. His training hall is 3% behind and this one is being booked, so seems that everything is on track. For his lab, should be about 1.3 million, which it is, and looks like he didn't really benefit much from the last call Zombie Man read up, but it's okay, it's no big deal. 1.3 million is normal for the spending level. Lower tier of free-to-play spending levels will be around 700 to 800k or maybe approaching 1 million at the moment, just because they don't have more supply tickets to get. So now that we've tested all of that, we're gonna actually look at his PvP. So looking at his arena, actually he told me he did a couple of hits earlier, so we're going to have a look versus the rank 1. So let's have a look, see, and we can see where we can adjust moving forward. So the first thing that strikes me is that he's lacking main tank. So CK in this case is the main tank for the enemy team, and while character layering is one of the most important aspects in PvP, the most important character I would say is definitely CK, because CK can actually make or break between a good and a bad comp. The reason being is that CK, his main value comes from reflect. So if the person who doesn't have CK on their team versus a person who has CK on their team, more likely than not the person with the CK will win. This is mostly due to the reflect mechanic, and also because CK can actually soak a lot of damage. Some people don't realize it, but as you can see, besides Goketsu who has Rebellion, CK is the only standing character right now. And he's not dying, guys. He's not dying, like he's immortal like Zombie Man or some shit. It's like, damn. So we're gonna skip this because you already know what the result is. It's a defeat. So by right, Sengoku should have the advantage just because he has a 70k BP gap. But the problem is that this fella right here. So in this curious case, I would say characters that can fill the slot that can help with this issue will definitely be Alloy. The reason being that Alloy can actually reduce the damage taken by your allies. So we're just going to do a short test to see whether it works. So this is his stable lineup right now. So we're just going to move Goketsu out and then Genos in like this, or we can move this here. I think this will be the best composition that this character can achieve. 2 altars, 1 defender, 1 shield generator, Zombie Man, as well as Genos for buff damage. Also move Garo to the front is fine also. But I think prioritizing Genos over Garo, we'll see. So we're gonna go up against PHR again. So let's have a look at how the team performs this time. So I'm expecting the backline to survive quite a bit just because Alloy is present, so it reduces. Okay, it seems like putting Genos at the back there doesn't really change much, because he still gets nuked. So his Goketsu immediately dies. which is good because of Garo follow-up. And then we'll see this battle, and we can understand that our Goketsu will not die. 100% he will not die. But neither will his CK. So it's a battle of who lasts longest, because once the second round is over, Goketsu passive is over, CK's healing goes back to normal. Now it's super crazy healing. So his front line still dead. So I'm expecting this to be a defeat, and it is. Okay, so now we can surmise that his lineup is good, but it's just that he doesn't have a front line. That's just the main problem. Because if he had CK in his lineup and he put Alloy out for CK, I think more likely than not he will win. But that's just the unfortunate truth. Sometimes gacha just deals that hand to you. So nothing more we can do but just play within your means. So gear adjustment wise, it's less of a gear issue and it's more of a composition issue. So what can he do to increase his chances moving forward? Can pull Phoenix Man actually. I'm gonna actually have a look at his BT to see whether it's a smart idea to recommend that. Okay, please don't pull Phoenix Man. But yeah, you can get a different character to frontline. You can actually use your alloy to frontline if you want. It's not a suitable frontline, but beggars cannot be choosers. You can also use Tank Top Master if you wish to do so. He is pretty good as a frontline tank. Definitely keep your lineups quite stable and alive, especially if you have his Kick, which you do. So very good. So you can actually reverse Silakao if you want. Since you're only using 2 ops anyway, you don't really need to worry too much about it. And then regarding your account resources, it seems to be at the best it can be right now. So the only thing that is an issue is, number one, you lack a frontline tank, and then your gears can be a bit better and your talent can be adjusted. So now, when you ask me about gaining gears and all that, I would say the best way to get it is via the club challenge. So let's have a look at how he performs. So as you can see, my standing here, I'm doing 164 million per hit, which is considerably average. It's not that high at all. I wouldn't call it high at all. So this is his bossing team. So I'm not sure why Alloy is here. I understand the King, Amai, Garo in front, but I do not think Alloy here is a smart move. So I'm just going to move this here, and I'm going to see, wait, let me have a look whether his Beast King actually has enough HP to actually survive. Because then there's no point in me putting him in. No, he does not. Okay. So, in my opinion, the best bossing thing he can run now is this backline. And maybe you can put Amai in front, because he's not going to be touched anyway. I think this would be the best front line, or you can sub out King for Janus as well. That can also work, because you already have one stable healer in the team. You don't really need any more than that. If you want AoE, you already have Ruketsu, so you don't need to worry that much about it. So since you do not have a good Beast King, so we just put King back in, and then we'll see how this bossing team does. I'm just going to put Janus in front. So this will be our bossing team, and we have a look. So we're going to manual this, because I think running it on auto is a bit too risky. So this is the role that I go usually every day. So we're going to go start with Garo Alt, Koketsu basic, King basic, Zombie Man basic, Amai Alt. Let me turn off the anime. So this is why your Amai needs to be strong, because he needs to actually kill, at least semi-kill the boss. Wow, your Janus died. Okay, that means the extra damage resist is not completed. Either that or you have a very weak Janus. Okay, never mind. So we're going to AoE this. King Shatter. I might ult onto you. So your Amai is also a little bit weak because it cannot kill Giryu with just that much. Which I would consider quite weak, to be honest. But to each their own. So now I'm gonna Garo out one more time. And then this round I'm going to King out instead of Goketsu. Just because I need the additional healing, I'm a bit worried that Amai might die. Which is not a blatant worry at all. I think Amai might still die now because your Amai's health is incredibly low. Oh, barely survive. Okay, that's fine. So now you can run auto. Nobody ults. Oh man, I didn't make it in time. Except for Janus and Amai. So everybody just does basic attack. The reason being that you want Goketsu to inflict the internal injury, you want Garo to inflict the internal injury, and you want King to shatter. So this will allow you to gain the maximum amount of value damage. And then Zombie Man just for sustain, and then Amai for the burst. So you run this all the way up until round 8, I assume. That's when Zombie Man dies. A 4-star Zombie Man at least. 5-star Zombie Man can go up to round 10. So this is the benefit of having a good Zombie Man. You can actually heal your Amai to full health. Mine is hitting for 3 million, so all my characters mostly go to full health once he ults. So that's why most people ask you to push Zombie Man attack at least to 2.5 to 250 to 260k. Mine is at 290. So your Amai also not dealing that much of a significant damage. So you might want to actually start pumping him up. So round 8. That's when your Zombie Man dies, which is a little bit bad. So I'm just going to use King for healing now, as well as Goketsu for self-healing. Because if I do not heal enough here, okay, Amai is going to die. So this is Amai's last ult. So a minor error there by me. It's okay. Internal injury and then let King finish it off. So with this you should achieve a bit of damage, not a lot. Slightly below what you have, but that's mostly because the layering was a little bit mistake and your Amai kind of RNG'd a little bit badly. So moving forward from this, bossing wise, I would suggest you actually pump up your Amai mask since you seem to have no intent in pushing BK. If you have intent in pushing BK, please push BK. Get him to at least 300k attack. Amai, you need at least 260 to 290, around there. So you need to up at least 100k. So bossing wise, I would say you're very ill prepared and you have a lot of work to do moving forward. And that should be it for this account review. Your characters seem to be quite stable, but there can be minor improvements here and there, especially regarding the gearing. And the best way to get good club gears is to do more damage in club boss. Also, please pay attention to your backup state progression. Make sure that you actually hit your weekly goals as often as possible. Please make sure that you do your memory. If you want to skip through this, it's fine. I recommend you start doing high tech for channels because I think you're going to need to do it. And other than that, it seems that your account is doing as good as it possibly can. If you enjoy this content and if you enjoy the tips that I drop, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. we're having a giveaway on the 2nd of March to celebrate Chicken Man's release. So do stay tuned for that. Till we meet again, everybody. Peace.